this school and have people be going in this classroom where a bunch of children were killed. And that's how America reacts.
Guys, I'm gonna ask him about the exhaust in the car.
Traumatic things.
I could troll and stuff, but like I'm actually gonna ask him about the exhaust in the car.
Trauma adverse
because it's so obvious.
Modern American University.
I hate fucking Blake. I think he's one of those Nakma aliens with the elongated skulls. If you look at him when he turns his head,
might react to a high-profile shooting by immediately messing up the physical site. And I don't recall the exact timeline, but I suspect that's just the school made that decision. They asked the prosecutor guy about it, and he said, I learned about it when it was on the news, same time as you did. And I'll tell you, I learned about it when it was on the news, same time all of you did.
Yeah, I don't think that goes to the typical flow of a murder scene, but that's just me. Thank you.
Well, it was no, like, this is what, if we're going to be intellectually honest and we're going to talk about the repaving of the crime scene, then we need to remove the phrase crime scene. It was no longer a crime scene by every standard.
Yeah,
we had every single agency that was out there working 24/7 for over 3.5 days. So it wasn't the Charlie shooting took place on what, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday at a minimum. And I talked to law enforcement there at UVU. They were working 24/7 on that entire campus, had it completely locked down. And their goal was to get it processed, do it right, not cut corners or anything like that, but have it reopened by that Monday. So, I mean, there's nothing, it would be weird if they had left blood and biologics there. And by the way, they're not even allowed to do that. And on top of that, it was absolutely reasonable. Traumatic happens pretty silly to me.
People and organizations will react in different ways. And you could say, I
believe we're going to let you talk. We're going to remain respectful. And I expect the same out of you. This is not the time for sound bites or anything else. Let's have a earnest, good faith discussion. And so with that being said, I will let Mason up. Mason, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a bunch of questions that I could ask, but I guess just one specific that I had in mind today was, I saw this on X a couple days ago, and then Candace brought it up as well. But for Blake specifically, how do you tackle the two differences between the challengers? Because one of them, you can obviously see it is a dual exhaust from the video that was shown in court. And then the official pictures from when they towed his car, it was the regular, like, rectangular exhaust. So you don't have to get into like, oh, this person. I'm talking strictly, can you acknowledge that those are literally two different vehicles?
Here's what I'll tell you. I don't know, Blake, if you want to answer that, but what I can tell you is that Midgray did a video analysis of that. They decided to capture, you can actually see that it is a dual exhaust in the other photos. What you're dealing with, according to Midgray, who knows more about photography and videography than I do, is that you're dealing with an extremely slow frames per second camera. And as that thing moves, this is what we've seen time and time again. Because you can grab one frame of something and make it look like something else entirely. And we've seen this, we've seen fraudulent presentation of evidence time and time again.
Oh, this whole time I've been talking to myself. God damn it. All my best stories.
I reposted Midgray. I will find that post and repost it for you, Mason. You can check that out. I think you need to go through that and make a determination of yourself. If you believe what he's saying, I think it's pretty compelling. That's ultimately up for you to decide. But I do think that and the other part of this is, we know what the VIN number is to his vehicle. I guess the other argument would be, well, it's not his vehicle, it's a different vehicle altogether. And I think there's plenty of evidence, if you look for it, that will refute that. Is that one frame, whereas you can see in other frames it doesn't look like that.
Well,
Does that make sense?
I will definitely look into like any other guys you have that are more knowledgeable about cars and stuff for sure. I'm just saying, if we're looking with our eyeballs, you can clearly, I know it's not super clear footage on the video camera, but you can clearly see that it is a double circular cylinder exhaust. And then in the car that was towed away, it was a flatter rectangular exhaust.
So you're coming to that conclusion based on the one still that's being presented as that fact. And what I'm saying is that in the exact same video, you can actually see in other frames, and this is exactly what Mid-Gray is pointing out. You can see in other frames it doesn't look like that. And I'll try to post. I'm trying to find that right now. And because it moves further along, and he has a still from there, and it's clearly not that quad tip exhaust.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, because I watched the video. It wasn't just like a screenshot from the video. Like I watched every minute of the court case and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that would make somebody not believe that those were circular. But I had another quick question for Blake about his show today, but I don't know if he wanted to chime in. But if you're going to post those pictures, that's cool too.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to post those pictures. Go ahead and
man.
ask your question. It's up to, I don't know if you and Blake are on talking terms or not. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I've never talked to him before. He's responded. Him and Andrew have responded to a couple of my tweets and stuff. But
Blake is scared. I hate Blake. Blake, just shut up. That was funny. This dude just owned him. He just blew like this should be earth shattering. If your earth ain't shattered by this, you're fucking don't know what's going on at the whole world. Geopolitics, the world's gonna end.
I watched the episode with that Joshua Carr kid, and he was saying that he got a death threat or whatever. And look, I've gotten death threats. I think we can say that, especially as conservatives, a lot of us have gotten death threats in person and online. Like, I'm not discrediting that. I'm not saying that, oh, you're complaining about a death threat. I'm saying that he said he got that, and the only thing he said was that somebody called his phone, said he was a police officer, was asking where he was or whatever, and then hung up abruptly. So I didn't see any threat in that, but I guess his statement on the end of that was, this is what happens when Candace Owens and Baron Coleman and all the conspiracy theorists push this crap. So, Blake, I just wanted to ask, do you think that Candace Owens and Baron Coleman and other people like them are causing death, basically, are causing people to get death threats in the world of politics?
Haha, silence.
Blake,
I
I don't know if
type
you're
it.
talking or not, but your mic is muted, or maybe just not talking, or maybe you're busy or
Stall
something else.
tactic. Stall tactic. Listen to these sons of bitches, man. I get really mad. Sons of bitches, you son of a bitch. I woke up early this morning just to call you a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else wants to answer that. I think there's lots of opinions on that. I mean, I think they are. I mean, I think what they're doing is inciting violence time and time again.
How so?
When you're telling people, well, when you're saying that Erica Kirk, for instance, is it involved? Well, let me ask you this.
Go for it.
We know that whoever you believe that killed Charlie Kirk, somebody was targeting Charlie Kirk. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, the party or parties involved were targeting Charlie Kirk, correct?
Sure. And we also know that Charlie Kirk had thousands of death threats. That's why he had security. Those have actually been confirmed by FBI in the past. Like, he's had death threats for his beliefs. And this all stems from his push against leftism and in particularly trans activism. He's talked about this on Bill Maher. He's mentioned this to many different people. I think this is well documented. At any point I get to a point where someone disagrees, or specifically you, feel free to chime in. So Erica Kirk, through association, just by proxy, I think we could agree that would automatically, regardless of how Charlie left PPUSA and ultimately because he was killed, if she fills his shoes, she's ultimately a target too. And my God, if you want to say Israel too, fine, whatever. But the point is that she automatically comes with that. Now you add on to that people saying that she is involved and the
They're just
conspiracy, the planning,
talking.
and the cover up of Charlie Kirk's death, that is going to incite a lot of other people. And then on top of that, you add these allegations and disgusting accusations saying that she's involved with child sex trafficking. So yeah, that is inciting, and with zero evidence, by the way. Nobody has a scintilla of evidence at all saying that she was involved in conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk. None. They don't have anything. And you have zero evidence to say that she's involved in child sex trafficking. But that is the image that they're pushing forward. And that in of itself is inciting violence. And they know it. And they know what they're doing. And we see it. I mean, one guy's already been arrested for attempting to threaten her or kill her. I don't remember what the exact, he definitely made death threats toward her and was ultimately arrested. And I mean, as many people as Candace reaches and Baron Coleman reaches, and some of the things they have said, I think the conclusion is pretty clear that they've convinced their audience that Charlie Kirk was killed, his wife was involved, and that also his wife was involved in child sex trafficking. So we could isolate it just to her, but for sure, that is inciting violence.
Right.
Do you not agree with that?
Right. So I'm assuming you're talking about the guy, like the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Was that the main guy you were talking about?
No.
No,
There was another guy that was-
they canceled an event
With
Georgia.
JD Vance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one where I think Candace, of course, like claimed the whole thing was fake, as she would, but no, it was very real.
Okay, so
Well, no, wait. There was a separate event where a guy was arrested. I think he was in Texas.
Just because Blake fell for it doesn't mean it's real. Oh, because it was very real. Why was the guy naked? That's what I want to know. Oh, man. You talk, man. I just wanted to choke. What am I doing?
I don't know.
oh yeah,
throw that purple pill.
it was in San Antonio. I'm near Austin, so I heard about that too.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. Like, obviously, Charlie got death threats. We know this. We know he got death threats. We know conservatives get death threats more than the left. That's just true. My whole thing is, if you're going to pin stuff on Candace and Barron, how can you do that when none of these people that you've mentioned have had any connection to them or have made any statement saying, I did this because of this, or this was the manifesto, or this or this? How do we know they weren't leftist people that were trying to kill Erica, who's a conservative? That's why I think it's dangerous to put the blame of death or potential death on two people that, in my opinion, cared about Charlie, cared about his mission, and whether you agree with them or not, they're doing the most that they can to figure out the truth. Because I've said this since the beginning, guys. I've said it is far better to search for the truth than do nothing. And with all due respect to the Charlie Kirk Show and Turning Point and everybody involved, I've said this since September and October back then. I said, has Blake Neff, Andrew Clavette, Mikey McCoy, Jack Posobiec, any of these people, Mikey McCoy, have any of these people sat at the table at the Charlie Kirk Show, looked up at the monitor at UVU footage and been like, okay, maybe this guy looks suspicious, or maybe this, or here's this evidence? No, I'm just, look, real quick. I was at...
So wait, hold on. You're mad at me because I haven't like schizophrenically accused random people of being in on the shooting?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying accuse anything. I'm saying strictly, when after all this happened, just do your own investigation.
No, that's
try
what
to
you're
figure
saying.
out what happened.
You're angry that we didn't like wildly speculate that specific people look suspicious on camera, because that's...
I hate whenever they can latch on to like any more so of truth or anything. They like take anything you say slightly out of context and just fucking run with it. That's how I know when people are full of shit.
Like what you think we're supposed to do.
But you're saying wildly. I'm saying, Blake, you guys did nothing. You guys were all about
Mason,
pushing on Charlie's mission.
No, Mason, hold on a second. Let me just
Go for
pause
it.
you right there.
Go for it.
Because it's not just what we do, it's how we go about doing things. And as a conservative, as you're saying, there's something that we believe in, and that is you don't accuse people without evidence. And that is inciting. That should be condemned. When you're sitting there alluding to, and this is the other thing that just I find disgusting. When we sit there and want to play word games and be like, well, she never actually said, well, she's done more than that. She's convinced her audience with a lot of different types of language, with a lot of different avenues of approach on that. And so has Barron. And if you want to sit there and say, well, I never said that she actually killed him. Okay, no, you have. You just said it in so many. And by the way, you can talk to any lawyer. That isn't going to fly in court. Insinuation and the way that they've gone about this is absolutely allegations by insinuation.
But I'm saying, how can you connect these people?
Hold on. What I'm saying is, why isn't that condemned by you? Why isn't it saying, like, you know what? Okay, if you want to do your own investigation, if you want to play Nancy Drew and you want to create this murder mystery, choose your own adventure, you get to participate in it and call my hot tip line, and you want to play that game, then why don't you do that behind the scenes professionally? Because how you go about doing it is just as important as what you're doing. And even if you're building a case and you think that's true, like the moment you start saying, hey, you know what, this person is guilty with zero evidence. We're 10 months into this and there's zero evidence of any claim. And by the way, not only is there zero evidence, she said the French Foreign Legion did it. She said people were shooting him from the tunnels. She said the shot came from behind. She said she's alluded to multiple things that are
I understand that. I don't
think you do. I don't think you do understand that, Mason. First of all, you're like also just like saying false things. Like, oh, you guys have never bothered to try to look for it? Okay, well, we compiled a bunch of TikToks and various other things that looked suspicious to us before the shooting happened, and we sent them to the FBI to investigate. Why would we do that if we didn't care? All those texts that ended up like coming out where Charlie's like complaining about his Jewish donors, as has already been established, those came out because Andrew sent them to the government because he thought.
I think most likely they're scared of Mossad killing them, so they're just trying to not say anything if they can. They'd probably know. They all, of course, they're going at home. They're going, oh my God, I think it's this and this and this. Oh God, because they know it's Mossad and the Freemasons trying to do some sort of fucking witch ritual on them. They believe in that stuff. Remember, they're conservatives and all Jesus, and they got satanic Erica telling kids what's fucking being in their gnome gardens and shit. I can't keep track of it all. I don't blame. Okay.
All my fucking life I've been kept out. You know what that feels like? Knowing you're a Chicano and no one accepts you because your skin came out white? My mom's as brown as you are. And my white dad tried to beat every ounce out of me. But you know what? He couldn't do it. Chicano's not a color. It's the way you think and the way you live. And if you're willing to give up your life for carnal, I'm here to do it.
White is the enemy. White's the system. You're stuck in the middle.
I think about this all day long.
All my fucking life I've been kept out. You know what that feels like?
What it feels.
Knowing you're a Chicano and no one accepts you because your skin came out white?
I feel.
My mom's as brown as you are. And my white dad tried to beat every ounce out of me. But you know what? He couldn't do it.
It feels like to be white.
It's the way you think and the way you live.
To be white. You know what it's like to not be accepted. White in 2026. Do you know what it's like to be not accepted? That was hilarious.
Hey, leave no stone unturned. Like, it's just completely false to say that we've just stood up there and said, we're not asking any questions, we're not doing anything to try to further the, like, discovery of truth on this. It's just, like, a false thing.
But I'm saying the guy that, the guys that you're saying that have threatened Erica with death threats and stuff, all this stuff, all the threats, everything, how can you connect them to Candace or Barron or other people? Name one thing that connects them to that. They would say, oh, they did this because they listened to Candace Owens. Name one thing. Name one instance.
Look, like what I will say is, I'm not saying any specific person was specifically radicalized by Candace or by Barron. What I will say is they endlessly stoke the idea that Erica Kirk is like a specifically nasty, like evil individual who's like conspired in one of the most dramatic and like wicked crimes in our lifetimes. They endlessly promote this idea with no evidence. They egg on people who do like weird and creepy things, like try to like spy on her and like stalk her. Like they encourage people who do these things by reporting on their antics and claim that this has no connection whatsoever with people feeling like it's a good idea to stalk, harass, and threaten Erica and anyone else in the Turning Point universe is farcical. Like, I don't know whether any particular person is connected to them. Do I think any of them would have a problem if someone did that? No, I don't in the slightest. I mean, frickin'
Dude, listening to these people talk, I can't even do it for 20 minutes here. And how many times have I already spaced off? Like 4 times. I can only do these people in like 5-minute intervals. I can't take it no more. I'm going to drink a cup of coffee and go do my daily hike up the mountain, up the mound. Really, that was funny. That's not my alarm. This grass smells like that. You woke me up. Should I bring him down? Just a stupid weed. Oh shit.